Hello, I'm watching some high-level bughouse here, Grandelicious against Zyxon, so might as well film it. And I'm eating ice cream. So what's going on here? Zyxon might be a bit screwed about trades. If he moves the f4 knight, so that the bishop defends this knight, loses this one. So he's in a bit of a tangle, maybe. Now, rook takes g2, queen takes. Queen takes. Problem is, queen near mates. Zyxon's trying desperately to untangle. He's got a few seconds to do it. And this is good ice cream. Zyxon worked hard for that. Alright, they're playing again. I've actually got a backlog of videos that I've made of better players than me playing bughouse, and need to upload them. Bill is kind of hanging pieces. Well, if he gets a knight, he's doing well. Problem is, it's hard for Zyxon to take a knight. He really wants that knight on f6. Mate. Queen d6 coming. Pawn mates. Hard. Very hard. So Zyxon's given the queen and also exposing himself to attack, but his partner Belly 365 does seem to be making some headway against I Am Lasso's king, or at least his king side, which is a start. So Grandelicious is hesitating on whether or not he should take the queen. There are a few ways for him to gain time for himself to postpone the decision. Probably the best one is placing a bishop at b4. Okay, but he's not gone for that. Just grab the queen. Zyxon asked for a sit, so he probably wants to get his partner like a couple more pawns, because if he can get pawn at h3 and then pawn at g2, Belly's doing pretty well. It's just hard to get that pawn. Like, it would be absolutely terrible for Zyxon to have gone bishop takes h7, for instance. And so since the pawns are not coming, he should take this and go for a draw. He should go bishop takes h7 and put the pawn on f3. That's what I might consider. Queen g3 is a great defensive move from Lasso. Defending f2, all the key squares around the king. So this is just to make Grandelicious spend a pawn. If Bella could get a knight, queen takes g5. Oh no, because there's the rook hanging, so it's probably a bad idea. And even if you go king e7, queen takes g5, queen takes a8, check, king e7, queen takes g5 is with check, so you don't have any way to counter. I think bishop e. Oh wow! What a great defense by Zyxon. Queen at e7, but it doesn't quite work. Rook at e1. He's running out of moves. Knight f3 maybe. Okay. I would have gone knight f3 to block the queen. Queen d1. Queen b4 is nice. Yeah. So there was also a play by Zyxon. He never gives up. Strong players never roll over and die. They always fight. But 7-second difference is pretty convincing. So Zyxon's seeing what he can do with a6, b5, which he often likes to use. And he's pretty impressive with it. Since they're not really using chat that much, let's make this board bigger. Rook e4 is a nice move by Lasso. I guess if your enemy king is not castled, but he's like going after your king, you should always be looking for ways to fork the peace drops with the enemy king. Although Grandelicious is a little bit uncomfortable here. His piece development is not so good, and you know, having to play a move like knight at d1, not a great sign. Oh, Zyxon is kind of smashing. Down a bit though. There's nowhere for Grandelicious to drop a pawn. He's got to maybe go knight d4. Now it's going to be hard to defend against knight drop, against a pawn drop on a7 or something. Okay, but he's got extra pieces now. The game on the right here is pretty volatile. I'm not really sure who has the advantage. I think Zyxon could win this one though. Bishop at e7 is a bit mysterious, honestly, because it just blunders a piece. Knight at b7, I'm also a bit baffled. So Zyxon's not got enough pieces to attack, so he's just saying, fine, I'll just defend. You know, you'd really like to attack when the opponent's king is on f2, but he has no choice, because he knows that he's got... If you give check, you've got 1 or 2 checks, and then what do? You just lose. So this way enables Zyxon to stay in the game. Rook e7 mates for Grandelicious, so Bailey has no choice but to just give checks. And there's a pawn check, and then after that, there's nothing. Because this knight is pinned, so this is GG, this is game over. All they can do, maybe pawn check and then just go for the time scramble. Now, so Grandelicious has preferred not to go for the time, you know, the sudden death at the end. I guess in light of what happened, the right decision. So Grandelicious is probably the strongest player who routinely plays this e6 d6 thing, and it's useful to get the pawn to drop to hit the enemy knight there. Well, I already think Bailey is busted. What's gone on here? Why has Bailey gone wrong so soon? This is like this is more of a low flow move, I guess, at best. Very hard now for black. Maybe bishop at g8 or something. Okay, this I'm a little confused about. Oh, Zyxon just went for Sicilian against Grandelicious, which is ballsy, gotta say. Was that a Sicilian? Yep, he fucking did a Sicilian. I've never beaten I've beaten a few players with the Sicilian, but against Chicken Crossroad, it's never worked. Well, I do have one win with the English, so 1 C4 as white, but it's hard to do. Yeah, Zyxon had to give up a queen somewhere. I think as black, it's a lot harder because they have just that extra move to harass you on C7. I actually have a blog post about the bughouse Sicilian, but it's very short because there's not really that much to say, because what normally happens is that the game explodes, you know, like before. It's not like there are these long theoretical lines that you can play, like in regular chess. Instead, it just goes crazy really quickly. Maybe the motivation for a Sicilian is, well, you get to throw your opponent off a bit, you get something a bit offbeat. It's also a way to draw the attention to yourself, so you can kind of keep your partner from being attacked on. If you're being attacked on, and so the partner. So, right, maybe the plan is Lasso can't sit for pieces to attack Burley because he has to give Grandelicious pieces to use to exploit the C7 hole. It can work. It kind of work. I missed what happened there. I was gonna make food, but I'm putting it off so I can comment on this for a bit. I actually wouldn't mind jumping in here because I do pretty well with Zyxon as a partner, although it doesn't happen very often. I think I've only partnered him a handful of times, but it's always fun because I'm good at holding the pieces and he's good at chessing. But I'm usually playing against him. But I don't want to just be like, yo, dump your partner and partner me instead. Doesn't Bailey have knight f3 and queen takes e1? See if Zyxon is saying anything in the chat. Oh no, Zyxon wanted pawn f3. Knight h4 is nice. Although after queen takes h7, I'm not sure what happens. Oh, Zyxon's gonna win if his partner can hold the heavies, and it looks like he can hold the heavies. I think just like King D8, because then you're threatening to take F1. So they resigned that. They didn't make them go to some kind of time scramble. I don't think black is supposed to take D5 here. Could be wrong. I'm not sure about the theory. Pawn E7, very difficult to deal with. So Zyxon just gives a queen. Bishop F4 coming for Grandelicious. I think he took with the wrong queen, because now knight wins one of those queens. If he'd have taken with this queen, it would have been better. So small slip. But maybe he doesn't care. I think, oh, this is hard. Knight G7. Where's the mate? Where's the mate? Billy's got a strong attacking position, but it's hard to find the mate. Queen D7, King F7, Knight at G5. Let's see what Zyxon has to say. Queen D7, Knight at H8. Why did he want Knight at H8? Okay. They're doing it this way. So Lasso is giving a pretty good defense. There's no way in. Meanwhile, Zyxon is struggling. So Burley really wants pieces here. I think he's found mate. Burley is an old fix veteran, I believe. Don't know him very well. Alright, this is turning into a great match. Burley found mate. Alright, we're seeing E6, D6 from Grandelicious. He just went knight at G4, playing like a 1300 sitter. Zyxon is never really phased by this sort of thing. I'm not sure why Bailey's done this, because now Grandelicious has like knight at E3, and there's like some compensation for the lost material. But I mean, Zyxon's not in any trouble, I don't think. It's 2 knights for a queen. Black's development is kind of bad. Knight takes c6. Pawn d7. Oh, I was expecting pawn d7 for lasso. Grandelicious is sitting. Okay. So now pawn at e3 turns d4. Rook d8 is a nice move. Pawn at d5 also a nice move. Now rook's gonna mate unless he can fix it, but I don't think the rook's coming, so he doesn't really need to fix it. Grandelicious is not really giving very much, just knights and bishops. Although you can go no. Yeah, there's not much. Knight at f5 is a good try. Maybe knight at h4. Bishop g2. Bishop g2, queen g3. Okay, so Zyxon, I think he's getting a little bit uncomfortable, but he's up time. Well, bishop g4 is actually very nice. Really can't be taken. But what's the follow-up? Grandelicious needs more heavies, maybe. He's got to find moves. Bishop h3 is a nice defense. So now there's going to be knight at h4. Zyxon wants to lose his queen, because then he take this, the rook is active. And whatever pieces, any pieces are good for Burley, so he's happy to give the queen. So we're in time scramble now. I'm guessing that Burley's kind of stuck for a move. I would just go, though. I would just find any move. Bishop at f1. I think Burley was just a bit too slow here. Which is a shame, because they had good chances there. Alright, Zyxon's saying last. So this will be the last one. I'm not sure why Burley played this way. Because, like, he just developed all of his opponent's pieces for him. And Zyxon really didn't want the trades, what with him just running around with his queen. Rook c1 maybe. Maybe just grab the rook. This board is kind of locked up. Burley wants a pawn. Yeah, pawn and heavy is good. Or bishop and heavy. He's saying bishop likely. Wait, Zyxon's got a bit of time to force the pieces. It's easy for him to get a pawn. Just how maybe Bailey's not that ambitious at this stage. I think it's too late. But Zyxon, Grandelicious couldn't have gone bishop takes because then he got queen g7. Oh, this is getting a bit. Yeah, Zyxon wisely gives up the queen. I think maybe nothing against Bailey. Seems like a nice guy and a good player, but a bit obsessed with just giving check from the looks of this game. Like he wants to play against the guy's king down a lot of material with his own king just as exposed. He wants to rook. Zyxon saying go, it's not coming. Bailey saying no knight. The knight is forced. He's getting the queen, but the time is hurting him. So it seems very unlikely that he can keep this threat on. The knight defends f8. Take d6. I think that's what separates 2200s from 2300s, is that 2300s realize that you can't always get what you want and you have to adapt. Alright, they're saying good game, so that was a good series. I picked on Bailey a bit too much maybe, but you know, he did a great job. Being the only non-titled player in the match. Okay, is there anything else worth watching? Kind of. But nothing at that level, so I'll just end the recording here. Thanks for watching.